This part is so touching, especially the moment when James' father sat and talked with Tu Diep, bravely admit mistakes and apologize to her, saying when attitude is more important than listening skill. It is expensive. It reflects maturity and change in his thinking. The more you watch, the more you see that Tu Diep is not only strong, but also tolerant. Behave very gently and deeply. She not only forgave him, but also wished him a safe journey. The right type of person with a beautiful soul. But the moment he asked to hug her before going to the airport also makes people choke. After saying goodbye to Tu Diep, Father James in the hug, Tu Diep put a large amount of money in the sugar basket. Tu Diep's stuff. But Tu Diep did not know this amount of money. In lieu of apology, how did Tu Diep react when he saw that amount of money? Will Tu Diep accept that amount of money? Tu Diep and the emotional farewell. After the car rolled away, it left behind a faint dust cloud. Tu Diep still stood silently on the side of the road. Hand gently squeezed the basket handle. Full of thoughts. She doesn't know why. But his eyes were James's father's. Today is very different. Father James no longer had a questioning look. No longer has the arrogance of a successful person, but sincerity and remorse. Come home. Tu Diep put the basket on the table and started taking out each item. A pack of tea, a few notebooks, and then a thick stack of money wrapped in pure white paper, accompanied by a short handwritten note. Consider me sorry. If a man does not know how to admit his mistakes, will never grow up. I deserve better than you. Tu Diep paused. Her heart was beating fast, eyes staring at the stack of money, as if not believing what he was seeing. Her hands trembled, her lips pursed. OT for the money, but for the heart that follows. She sat down and hugged the paper to her chest. Oh, tears, but full of emotions. Uncle, I never thought I would get this recognition from you. Uncle and Tu Diep quietly wrapped up the money. She doesn't use it, at least for now. But she was in no hurry to return it. Because for her it's not just about money. It's a belated apology, a respectful acknowledgement. She will keep it as a promise between 2 generations. So I will live well so you don't have to worry about James anymore. Tu Diep knows the story. A cold afternoon in the office covered in fading sunlight. James sat pensively over a cup of cold black coffee. Tuan, his close assistant, just came from the countryside and told everything. Yes, James, the day I was about to go to the airport while hugging Tu Diep, he left a large sum of money in her basket. I heard the water seller tell the story. I saw her confused these days and didn't say anything to anyone. He was neither angry nor surprised, but somewhere inside him a choking feeling rose. He did it because he was afraid he would not have a chance to apologize. Maybe he realized it too late. James fell back with his head and eyes closed. When I was young, I wished my father would apologize to my mother one day. But for many years he only knew how to speak in terms of money. Tuan asked if she thought Tu Diep would accept the money. Tuan asked no. She is not the type to take the money and keep quiet. If she keeps it, it must be to do something meaningful. A few days later, Tu Diep decided to quietly. A few days later, Tu Diep quietly went to an old boarding house near the market. There is a homeless ma, still often play guitar on the roadside. The old man she helped the other day. Mr. Diep, long time no see. Do you still remember me? Tu Diep smiled and held out her hand. I miss you. Today I came to give you some money to fix the roof, with buying some new guitars for the kids in the neighborhood. The old man was silent, his eyes red. Are you sure this is a lot of money? I'm sure this is money from someone who thought wrong about me. But I believe if I use it for good, then that person will also feel at peace. When Tu Diep turned away, tears fell. In his hand was only a handwritten note from James's father. She kept it as a souvenir. Yes, James knew about her actions. A few days later, after a survey of a project near the boarding house, James unexpectedly met the children practicing the piano with the old man. James, you stand still and say nothing. Then the old man recognized him. Are you James, Tu Diep's lover? Yes, it is me. She is very kind to spend a lot of money to renovate this boarding house. She said it was an apology gift from his father. He turned away with red eyes. Only one thing in my heart. You must keep that girl with all your love and respect. Symphony of Good Hearts. A few weeks later, James almost disappeared from Tu Diep's sight. She thought he was busy with the company restructuring. Capital is still struggling after the withdrawal from Cha. But actually he was secretly preparing something special. That day, Tu Diep had just come home from teaching the piano when it started to rain heavily. She saw Tuan standing in front of the gate, hand holding a letter and keys. James asked me to give this to you. He did not say clearly. Just tell me to follow the address in the letter tomorrow and you will know. The next day, under the light drizzle, Tu Diep went to a small alley near the riverbank. An old house now renovated. Pastel blue paint. Above the gate is a wooden plaque engraved with the words, Dream Music Room for Tu Diep, the one who turns forgiveness into music. She was speechless. Inside the large room is wooden floored, full of guitars. Violins and even trumpets of the century were repaired. One corner is a small bookshelf with music books, Ota books and pictures of smiling children. James stepped out from inside. My hands are still covered in paint. Sorry for not asking first. But I think, if you turn that gift into something good for someone else, then you should do your part too. He hesitated. You taught me something I never understood in my life. That is the value of a forgiving soul. And music is how I show those beautiful things. If I don't teach piano anymore, then this place will still keep the echoes from your heart. Tu Diep said nothing, just walked over and gently hugged him. She whispered, Thank you for listening to me, understanding me, and believing in me. Outside the drizzle has stopped. Thin sunlight through the leaves, as a gentle prelude to the love song called To Start Over. The meaning of this story, with episodes like Father James's late apology, Tu Diep's tolerant act of forgiveness, and gift music room for poor children, bring many profound values when looking at real life. Here are some of the highlights. A forgiveness is not just letting go, but also healing. In life, everyone has been hurt by someone, sometimes relatives. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, but choosing not to let that pain control you. When the Apocrypha forgave Father James, she not only frees others, but also heal yourself. Attitude is more important than skill. Father James once judged a Diep based on his education level. What happens in real life? But later he realized that it was the attitude of learning that mattered. Energy. And the way of life is what determines a person's future. This is a reminder. Don't judge anyone by their appearance or past. Love is growing together, not holding on. James does not give Cosmos luxurious gifts or propose as soon as things calm down. Instead, he did something meaningful for her and for the community. A mature way of expressing love. Love is helping the other person be themselves and spread the values they believe in. Turn a random gift into a kind thing. The amount of money the goat father left at first may make the recipient feel embarrassed, blessed, but the leaf uses it to do good. Open music room free teaching shows that we can transform even the imperfections, become useful. Everyone has the opportunity to change if they really want to. From father to me, everyone has had prejudices, every mistake, but they changed by actio, by apologizing, by learning to love. The story reminds us that everyone can make amends, and sometimes it starts with a listening heart. Conclude feelings about the meaning of life from the story. Life is never perfect. We are born without the ability to choose where we belong, but we can choose how to live, how to love, and how to forgive. The story between Tu Diep, James and his father, were more than just a love story or just family, but also a journey of healing. Grow up and sow good things. Once the leaf, use that money to open free music classes for poor children. She not only spreads music, but also spreads love, resilience, and the beauty of overcoming adversity with heart. Clear. Cha James, when choosing to go with that ideal instead of material things, also learned a big lesson. Love is companionship, not impositio. And Father James, who was prejudiced, bravely apologized. And through the forgiveness of Tu Diep, he also found peace for himself. Cha James. The final story shows us forgiveness does not make us weak. That makes us stronger and freer. A man's true worth does not lie in his education or property, but in the way they live, how they deal with mistakes, and how they spread love to others.